Something that's probably not going to be addressed by anyone that I've seen on YouTube. Manosphere channels, relationship advice channels alike. Christmas can be a special time, and it should be, for a vast majority of men, women, children, boys and girls alike, the young and old. But Christmas can, this year in particular, be a very sensitive topic, a very hard day to experience. And I say that because you might be a man watching this right now, a young man or an older gentleman who has experienced a significant relationship breakdown, and for the first time in perhaps 1 year, 5, 10, 15 years, you're spending Christmas completely alone or without a significant other in your life, whether it be through a relationship breakdown that led to separation, divorce, or you're widowed in this stage of your life. I just wanted to touch on this topic, wish you all a Merry Christmas, and empathize with the gentleman out there who, like I just said, for the first time might be experiencing and going through Christmas in 2024 alone. That's not to say you weren't with your family today during Christmas lunch, you weren't with significant people of importance to you for Christmas Eve dinner the night before. But it's to say that something's missing. Something's a little different. For myself personally, this was the first Christmas in at least the last 5 or 6 years that I can recollect that I spent outside of a significant relationship. So whether it have been a family dinner on Christmas Eve or some kind of gathering during Christmas Day, whilst that might still go ahead for you, as I did, have a nice Christmas Eve dinner with my siblings, that significant other, that big part of your life, and like I said, it could have been a 1, 2, 3 year relationship, 5 or 10 years that you were potentially even married, you can't help but feel that empty feeling that there was someone missing, something missing. And I wanted to state to all you gentlemen out there that that is a perfectly acceptable and normal feeling, especially if this person was a significant part of your life, which if you were in a monogamous relationship, they surely should have been. This ain't a feelings channel. This ain't a woe is me, let's have a big group hug and cry on one another's shoulders type of video. But when I changed my channel description from strictly being about PlayStation gaming, I put in relationships and real talk, and then gaming. So giving you some real talk and tying it in with relationships. I can understand for some of you men out there that might be experiencing Christmas without a significant other, and as I mentioned, I had a good time. I had a good time with my siblings, the closest people to me on this continent at least, last night for Christmas Eve. But you might not be afforded that. You might not have that opportunity. For example, there's plenty of people that can even tend to break up around this time of year. Even in the lead up, even on the eve, during Christmas Day, or you were with someone of significance for the last couple of Christmases, Christmas Eves, you'd bring them over, you'd have them join you on that family luncheon. And this year, you can't help but feel the void, I should say, when you look over at the empty chair or in that spot where someone used to be. You can't help but reminisce. It's a natural reaction to think back, to feel and acknowledge that this year, this time around, something's a little different. And this is not a slight at Christmas. It's not to say we shouldn't have emphasis and meaning behind it. Christmas is a special day for me. Christmas is a special day for many Catholics and non-Catholics alike across the world. It's a day that we give so much meaning that we almost believe that because of this particular day in the calendar that we should be doing something more. We always think that there really should have been this emphasis on this particular day beyond what we made it. I'm talking to the guys that might be not able to do what they did in the past. And that's not necessarily even because of a breakdown of a relationship. Simply might be because travel plans didn't allow. Your family, the people closest to you that you wanted to spend the day with, or the evening during Christmas Eve, simply decided to travel abroad, and you decided against it, or the timing wasn't suitable for you. A lot of people actually have to go back to work on the 27th, the 28th. Boxing Day might still be a day off, but some people still can't afford to just go overseas, whilst others might have that luxury, that opportunity, that privilege, whatever interchangeable word you want to use. But there was simply a clash that wasn't favorable for you. You live interstate, you live hundreds, thousands of miles. Maybe you moved on with your career, some kind of a pursuit that's put you in a different country. So circumstances can vary. It's not necessarily a relationship breakdown, but the emphasis I'm putting on it is that Christmas this year feels a little different. You feel a little vulnerable. You see people with family. You see these commercials, this heavily emphasized significance of this day. And I also think for a lot of the wrong reasons, we've really just overshadowed the real significance of the day, which is the birth of Christ. And now we've put this marketized capitalist ideal behind it that is all about giving and receiving possessions. It's all about the trees, the Santas, the jingle bells. And it's not to say that that is a bad thing. I am strictly against some of the shit that I've seen, such as banning of the Christmas windows. For those of you who don't know, we have a big department store that had Christmas windows that have themes, Christmas kind of themes. Not that I've ever gone and made the effort, besides maybe having been a child and dragged along to these windows. I don't particularly know what they're all about, but I was all for it because it was in the spirit of Christmas, in the sense that it was related to unity and bonding and spending quality time with significant others. So I don't believe things like that should be banned. So if you're spending Christmas alone, or you just didn't experience Christmas like you remembered perhaps how you imagined it would be, there was that slight void or feeling of emptiness this year for you, I want to give you the following advice of how to move forward, of how to endure, we'll call it, survive the holidays. Because as I have just said, whilst it is a time of celebration, whilst it is a time of love, caring, cherishing, bonding, and being grateful, I suppose it is a quite blissful moment to show a lot of appreciation and gratitude for the people you love around you and in your life. Simply might not be the case for you this year, because those people are missing, they're unavailable, you've fallen out of contact, and there was some kind of a breakdown in circumstances and the relationship as a whole. Well, this is the following advice that I have to say for all you gentlemen out there that might be watching this, even for you younger guys, even the girls. This advice can pertain to just about everyone who's feeling a little hollow-hearted in this time of year. First things first is to accept and acknowledge that it's normal. It can be particularly hard, and though it is a difficult emotion to comprehend sometimes, the feeling of being disconnected, even excluded. Maybe you feel alienated, that you've been made to feel estranged by people you were closest to, especially in this time of year when there is this heavy emphasis, as I touched on in the previous minutes, that it is a time to be together and to show gratitude and to be in a happy, blissful-like environment where you're exchanging notions of love and affection with other people. You are bonding with the people who are supposedly meant to be the most important to you in this lifetime. But for whatever the reason, this year you might be feeling completely disheartened, and it's overshadowed by the fact that you even go as far as to say that you might be in a state of despair. You're in complete misery this year because you're alone. Accept it. Accept what it is that you're dealing with. Don't toss it wayside. Through acceptance and acknowledgement of whatever it is that you might be feeling in this particular time of year, know that you will get past it. And it's not to say that in a cliche manner, that it is just a wave that's going to wash over you. It can be very difficult when you first don't even manage to accept whatever emotion it is that you're dealing with. So what I do want to encourage in that case, once you have sat down with yourself and acknowledged what it is that you're feeling, accepted the fact that it's perfectly normal under the circumstances to be feeling in such a way, how do we move past it? How do we get to the next phase, we'll call it? I don't want to start using buzzwords like leveling up and the next level, transcending and ascending. But once we've acknowledged that we might be feeling a certain blue type of emotion, we want to start looking forward, looking ahead. And with that, I want you guys to be a little bit more self-centered. Not egotistical, but selfish. Become primarily driven on what it is that you want to accomplish. Start looking more inwards rather than outwards. The whole reason we might be feeling that range of blue emotions in this time of year during Christmas might be valid because we are missing that significant person this time for the first time in, like I said, multiple years potentially. By being selfish, by looking at ourselves, looking in, we cut out the noise, we trim the fat. We look at what it is that we want to do with our lives. We don't have to wait for January the 1st to set ourselves tasks and New Year's resolutions. Your resolution, your new year can be right now, right after you've watched this video. Whatever it is that you want to start pursuing, whatever it is that you want to change about yourself, if it's friends that you want to make, if it's money you want to earn, if it's a sport or a skill that you want to pick up, improve, get better at, some kind of an ability that you might have not even given much thought about is now just pop back into your mind, and you thought to yourself, man, you know what? I actually want to become a better writer. I want to start appreciating the arts more. Maybe learning an instrument. Whatever that may be, it's going to take commitment. Commitment to achieve a certain amount of success or reasonable competency. And when I say self-centered, I don't necessarily mean it by the negative connotation that it might be initially perceived under. Self-centered, by definition, is to be preoccupied with oneself. I'm encouraging you to be preoccupied with yourself. I'm looking at a quote here, said by a man that is getting quite a lot of heat right now on the internet. He's being criticized for his lifestyle and his fitness programs, but since he's the one that I heard uttering this quote, I'll drop his name in the end of it. Only positive action can overtake negative thought. Said by Wes Watson. Now, this isn't going to be a video about Wes Watson or his programs or my thoughts and opinions of it. But that quote that I've had written down for at least 6 years now comes back to what I'm saying about being self-centered. Certain people in my state, less than 3 hours drive from my locale, are going to have to be self-centered tomorrow to fight for their homes, for their livestock, for their future, for their lives, with the intense heat wave that we are going to have come across the state of Victoria. Once people really do knuckle down and become self-centered, not to such a degree that they fracture relationships and burn bridges, but self-centered in such a way that they are motivated, enigmatic and energetic about being focused to get up and out of bed to pursue their calling, their passion in life. And again, I understand this can be a difficult time of year for various reasons. From missed flights, to cancellations, to people simply having fallen ill, some kind of a last second change of plans. Or the people that I just referenced that simply have a different forefront of mind when it comes to their livelihoods, fighting for everything that they hold near and dear, all their most valuable possessions, perhaps things that they've taken their entire lives to build, will all boil down to the 26th of December 2024, when they're going to have to fight the elements, fight the fires to protect everything that they hold near and dear and have spent an entire lifetime to this point, to this day in time, acquiring. So whatever negative emotion, whatever negative feeling that you're experiencing on this particular day or the days ahead during the holiday period, being self-centered isn't about dismissing the needs and priorities that you have in your life that pertain to other people. It isn't about dismissing the struggles or not acknowledging that someone else might potentially, even in your situation, might have it tougher than you. Being self-centered, by that I mean I encourage you to primarily focus on the tasks that you've allotted to yourself at hand. To put yourself first, to not worry about the noise, to not read the headlines, to not see what's trending. What's the latest thing to follow, the newest, the freshest advice, what everyone else around you is saying and going against your primordial gut instincts at hand. Set yourself a task. Be motivated. Enigmatic and energetic are words that I've used throughout the video. To get up and out of bed and chase your calling over this Christmas period. Lastly, I do empathize with the people that are going to have a very difficult day and holiday period overall ahead of time. I strongly feel for the selfless people that are out there, a lot of them volunteering to fight the fires, defending livestock and livelihood, land, homes of people that they might not even know. So to all the brave men and women alike who are sacrificing their time and health over Christmas, Boxing Day, and all throughout up and until the New Year's Eve and day celebrations, and ongoingly throughout the summer period in Australia, thank you for your sacrifice. Even though you are protecting and defending people that I have never met and do not know, you are still fighting the fight that needs to be fought for the country that I live in and love. God bless to everyone over this holiday period. Merry Christmas once again, and thank you for watching.